Hello, friends. Welcome back to Creative Compass, a scrap map series, episode 2. Now, if you missed episode 1, where I dropped the bombshell and told you to start your layouts by journaling first and then picking your pictures, you're going to want to go review that video as well. So I'm going to include the link in the description box below. On this episode, we are going to talk about choosing a layout. That could include anything from one page to two pages with some flip flaps or a pocket page, or multiple layouts within an album or even up to a small separate album. Now, if you're stuck, a really nice resource to start with would be something called a scrapbooking sketch. Now, we're going to get into that a little later once I've shown you some options for one page and two page layouts, plus flip flaps and pocket pages. If I have 1 to 5 photos, that typically is the most I will use. 5 photos is the most I will have on a one-page layout. Even with this big 5x7, you can see that with 5 photos, even though these are smaller, there's still room for a title, journaling, and then some embellishments. So 5 photos is usually about the max for a one-page layout. Now, if you're wanting to add more photos, you're going to want to move into a 2-page layout. Usually with a 2-page layout, the most you're going to be able to afford on 2 pages is anywhere from 6 to 14 photos. So if I arrange these just sort of like this, here are 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I could afford to put 2 more pictures here or 2, maybe 2 more smaller over here. But what starts happening is you start losing space for your title, embellishment clusters, and journaling. So if I bring in a title, so if I put my title up here, and again, this doesn't have to be the configuration for the pictures. There's my 5 over here. And then if I put my pictures over here in a configuration, I need a spot for my journaling somewhere. So you can see that with a title, maybe an embellishment here and an embellishment here, I don't have much room, more room for any more photos. Of course, this journaling spot could be half the size, or it could be turned this way. Then I could add some more photos here. But again, you're not leaving that much room for embellishments. So if I wanted to put an embellishment over here, an embellishment down here, and maybe an embellishment over here to make our triangle, still not going to have that much room for many more pictures. So for a 2-page layout, 6 to 14 photos is usually about your max. Now here are some options if you wanted to add even more photos on a 2-page layout. There's something out there that are called pocket pages. Back in the day, there was something called Project Life. They were these pocket pages, and here's an example. And I'm using this so that you can kind of see. So this would be an insert that you could put in the middle of your layout that would house up to 6 4x6 photos on this side. And then when you flipped it, there'd be 6 more 4x6. Now, you could also make 3x4s in here as well. So you can use any one of these pocket pages to extend your layout. It's really nice, especially if you want to capture a vacation all in one layout. Now, what's neat about these is there are different configurations. So here's one that put a title here or just a decorative piece of patterned paper, 4x6s here, and flip it, and then you would have another patterned paper or a title or a long journal story with your 4x6s again. Another configuration. These are really cool. So here would be a band that you could put multiple pictures or a title with a journal box in a 4x6. And then these are 3x4s. So you could absolutely put more of those. And then of course you would duplicate that on the second page. And then this one is just another one that has 4x4s, kind of like in a grid fashion. And you wouldn't have to include pictures in each of those. You could put an embellishment with a picture, with a journal box and another pattern paper and a picture and an embellishment. So you wouldn't have to fill this with pictures, although you can see how you can absolutely add more photos to your layout for a double page spread just by using one of these. Other products that are out there are flip flaps. Stampin' Up has them in sizes 4x4, 3x4, 3x3, and then 4x6. And then Creative Memories calls the same type of thing peekaboo pockets. So they come from Creative Memories, they come in 3x4, and you get 5 of them, a landscape and then a portrait. So you get 5 each of those. That's a 6x12. And what I like about these is that you can put them on the inside or outside of your layout so that when you flip it open, this actually flips up. And then, so you've got pictures on this side and pictures on this side over here. So when you're opening it up, you could put it in this way as well. So you can add more pictures that way. I think 49 and Market has the same type of thing, but I really honestly don't know what 49 and Market calls them. So the way a flip flap works is they're just this plastic sleeve. I don't know if you can see that very well on camera, but you put your photo in the flip flap. So if this were your photo on the layout, this would lay over the top of it in this flip flap. And then when you lifted it up, you would see not only a picture here, but you would also see the picture here and here. So you can add as many of these in on top of one photo as you want. They come with this. It's got an adhesive already on it. They're really, really strong. So you just pull that tab off of there, and you can either adhere it underneath your page protector like this and add it right to your page, and then cut a slit in your page protector and fish this through. Or you can, once you put your layout into your page protector, you can adhere this right on top of the picture to the page protector. Now, I haven't done it that way, but I'm really tired of cutting the slit because I never get it cut right. So I'm really anxious to use one of these soon in one of my layouts so that I can see how it works on a page protector. One tip I will tell you, if we have a week-long vacation, I tend to give a 2-page layout to every day of my vacation. So day 1 usually starts out with our flight or road trip or whatever, wherever we're starting, and then proceeds through the day. Now, if we do a lot in one day, I might add some flaps to that day, or I might add one of those pocket pages to the middle of that day. So I do tend to spread out a longer vacation set of photos over multiple layouts. Now, there are some out there that will do an entire album to one trip, and that is absolutely great. That's absolutely fine. I am an OCD chronological scrapbooker, so I like to see everything that happened in one year in one album for that year. Now, something that will help you when you're just getting started, or especially if you're stuck, are these sketches. Now, Page Maps puts a new set of free, yes, I said free, scrapbook sketches at the beginning of every month. They've been doing this for decades, and that is pagemaps.com. And so this is a great resource out there for you so that if you get stuck or you have a little creative block, it'll at least give you either your whole layout idea or just a place to jump off of. There is another company out there called Scrapbook Generation. They also have lots of paid you pay for the sketches, and to me, they're totally worth it. But they also have free ones out there as well. So that is another resource. You can also get onto Pinterest, or you can just go to the good old Google and just type in free scrapbook sketches, and you'll find lots of resources where you will find these scrapbooking sketches. So I have my hero photo, which is my favorite and my largest photo. And then I have all of my experience photos, which are the medium size photos here. It tells the story about the evening. And then I have my detail photos, which of course the cutest star of the show, our grandson Oliver. So there are those. And then I have detail shots, which is just shots of food, the front of the building, the restaurant, and then also, of course, the BJ's beer, brewhouse beer. And then I also have a place card for my journaling to remember to include that. And then I also have a title spot. Yes, I know this isn't about Magic Mountain, but this is about the size I like to use for my titles. So we're just gonna use that as well as a placeholder so that I know what I'm looking at. So as you can see, this is definitely needs a 2-page layout. I would suggest that you really try to create balance and also interest with your photo layout. So here is one option, and I am following this sketch here. So you can see I've used this vignette for these 3 pictures. And then this line of detailed or smaller photos, I lined up Oliver and then put the detail shots of the food. And then this section where the 2 large photos are, I have used my son's photo with the couple off to one side. And then here's where the journaling goes, and the title and an embellishment. So here is the title and then the journaling. Then for embellishments, we could go here, here, and here. So it's kind of spread out, or we could go here. We could make this a little shorter. So there's definitely our visual triangle. Definitely room for the stream of balloons over here, and then maybe a printed paper down the side and in the middle here. So really wouldn't need a whole lot of extra paper. The embellishments would be small and kind of more of a trail and very linear. Definitely an option. Now here is another possibility. This is from this scrapbooking sketch. I do like the idea of these being linear in the middle of the page. I really do like those. There's plenty of room for the vignette that I want to do. There's room here for the detail photos, and then the journaling box, which is all coming off of this idea. Now, they've got the title up here, but I'm thinking I need to add this photo in. So we could either put it here, we could put it in the spot with the title, which actually gives it just a little bit more of a central place on the layout. It calls for the title to be up here. So the other thing we could do is put our title up here in the corner and then add this here or even down here just to kind of offset or give it a little bit more balance. This is definitely a possibility because here's your title and journaling. You've got all of your pictures and look at all the real estate there is for embellishments. You can put one here, put one down here, and then one over here, or even alongside up at the top, maybe here. You could even just put one here and over here along with the journaling. So then you still have your, I might move this down and put the one up here. So without doing too much here. So then you could put one up here. And then you could still, off the title, do the string of balloons like on that other scrapbook. Now on here, they've got the banners. So we could easily put a banner along the bottom of this picture and then banners all across here with balloons. I just really like the vertical piece. Instead of it all being linear, there's just a section where it's linear, and then it even looks like they've got a piece of paper, patterned paper or a solid paper. So I would probably take that from the top to the bottom, just to break it up just a little bit. But I really, really like the way this looks. And last but not least, here is another option, and it is following this sketch here. And so here's the vignette with the grandparents. And then here is the large photo of my son. And then this photo here is of the couple. And then the trio of pictures down here of Oliver, journaling, title. Now on this one, I probably would make this title kind of circular like this so that it would fit up in here. So that way I would have my title and embellishment in one cluster here. And they have also a little cluster down here. So I could easily scoop these over probably, is actually probably what I would do, to put another embellishment cluster down there. And then they have this little embellishment cluster over here, but they also have these banners up here. So what it does is it still leaves room for those ideas that I have for the string of balloons or the banners up here at the top. Now I could put these on either side of the journal box down here, which is another option. That way it actually leaves room for more of the happy birthday, or even putting the title over here with an embellishment and the banners and balloons over there. I really like this idea as well. So hopefully this helps you understand the layout of and composition of where you're going to put your pictures, helps you understand what size embellishments you need and how much paper is actually going to show and where you might place your pictures. That way it narrows down your embellishment choice from your stash, and it also helps you understand how much printed paper to use or how much paper is actually going to show, so that you might be able to scrapbook something like this layout with your scraps, because not a whole lot of paper is going to show if I were to use this layout. On this sketch, it looks like they have two white or colored cardstock, and all they have really is two pieces here and two pieces here with strips. That's all the paper they're using on this, and the rest is photos. There's a different mat of paper here, and then just a little bit for the embellishments. So really, it helps you understand what you need to look for into your embellishments and your papers. So, just to review, in episode 1, we talked about journaling first so that you get your story straight, you know what you want to remember. That way, it helps you pick the photos that you want for your layout. We also discussed the importance of the size of your photos so that the hero photo is your favorite or the focus of the layout. And then your experiences or the start, middle, and end of the story, groups of events or people, and then the smaller detail photos so that you have little things to help create the mood and feel of your layout. Then in this episode, we learned that configuration of your photos will help you determine what type of embellishments you'll need as well as what type of papers you'll need. So I hope that you found this helpful. I want you to join me in episode 3 where we get to do the fun part, where we actually select our papers and embellishments to help create the mood and feel of our layout and tell the story. I'll see you next time on Scrap in the Stash, Creative Compass, a scrap map series. A bye-bye for now.